Alright, so in one of our previous videos we have featured this case over here from the Steam Deck, which comes from a company called Supcase. We received a bunch of accessories from them last time. I unboxed this one and you can find the full video right over here, but today is time for a new one. This is my Nintendo Switch OLED, and here we have a case for it. Let's get to the unboxing and see our impressions. So here we have the case, and if you are aware with the products that Supcase sells, they have some pretty rugged accessories for consoles, phones, watches and so on. So it's something that you should expect whenever you are getting accessories from them. And that's why this one, it's a bit bigger, but it also adds a bit of grip to it, and we'll see in a minute how this goes on the Nintendo Switch. So first thing first, as you can see, it also has a front cover, but let's remove it and we'll put the Nintendo Switch inside. Okay, so here are the two parts of the case. We have also over here a quick installation guide on how to insert the Nintendo Switch in it, but it's pretty basic. I think we can handle this. So as I said, this comes in two parts. This is the one in which the Nintendo Switch will actually sit on. You simply insert the lower part of the Nintendo Switch. That's it, and now we click the upper half in its place. And that's pretty much it. Now the Nintendo Switch, it's inserted in the case. First impressions, of course, you will notice that this also adds a bit of extra grip around the Nintendo Switch. If you have bigger hands like I do, you cannot really play for too long on Nintendo Switch because of its dimensions. So sometimes you actually need this extra grip around the Joy-Cons, and I'll have to test this out in longer gaming sessions, of course, like I always do, so I'll post updates on my social media accounts. But as a first impression, similar to the Steam Deck, is that this extra grip around the corners is something that I really can get used to. These are the most noticeable differences when you are using this case, but something to have in mind is that we also have here on the back extra grips around the Joy-Cons. So these are actually some pretty important aspects, because while you're holding the Nintendo Switch, you can also put your fingers around this extra grip, and this adds a bit of more comfort when you're playing the game. And the sides will sit in your palms, and as I said, as a first impression is that I enjoy it, but again, I'll have to play a bit more with it and see how it works in longer gaming sessions. Similar to the Steam Deck one, the materials are almost the same. So we have TPU and plastic on the back with a nice little texture over here. It mimics metal or carbon, and we also have this screw look-alike that adds a bit of rugged look to it. Also, again, the extra texture here on the top and at the bottom with the Supcase logo around it. Cutouts are pretty good. We have here for the dock, and I will test this one in a minute. For some reason, for me, it doesn't want to go all the way around the Nintendo Switch. I'll try to remove it and put it back, but this should stay a bit tighter on the Nintendo Switch. We'll see in a minute if we can solve this. On the top, we have the buttons, which, as you can see, are really clicky. The volume button, again, pretty clicky. You won't have any issues with those ones. To be fair, these are also silicone and not like the ones you have seen on the Steam Deck. Actually, let me show you right over here. These ones are plastic, so they are not in the same material as the rest of the case, and that's why the buttons are even clickier. We have this change over here on the Nintendo Switch one, still very clicky. We also have cutouts for the fan and the game card slot, so no issues there. And as you can see, similar to the Steam Deck one, we have this part around the triggers which is exposed. So even though the case is pretty rugged, you will still have these exposed, so be careful while dropping it. If the drop will happen around the triggers, then you'll still have damage for your console, so be careful with that. One thing that I want to try out is to remove the Joy-Cons, and as you can see, no issues there. We can do the same for the right one, and there you go. You can still remove the Joy-Cons, and you can use the Nintendo Switch with these detached, so you don't have to remove the case every time you want to remove these ones. Before we go to the front lip, what I want to mention is that with this case you will not be able to use the back kickstand of the Nintendo Switch, so that may be a deal breaker for you. If you are using the kickstand often, then this case probably will not be for you. I rarely use it, as I mentioned in my previous video about the Nintendo Switch. It's still something that I want to point out because this may be an important aspect for you. Alright, time to test out also the front plate. It does have these two legs, let's say, on the sides, which will go inside these slots over here. So that's pretty much what you have to do. It's put it on the front of the screen and gently press it, and now the front screen is protected. Again, the triggers will be still exposed. Another important aspect of this front plate is that we also have these slots over here for games, and I have over here a couple of my games, so you simply insert them over here just like that. The games are inside, so you can take 5 extra games with you. It's a pretty nice feature that Supcase have thought of. In order to remove it, the easiest way that I can see is just pushing a bit on the Joy-Con, so just like that, and again on the right, and that's pretty much it. So it's a pretty easy installation and removing the front plate. Something else that most of you would think about when using this with the Nintendo Switch is if it still fits in the official dock. And there you go. As you can see, this does work with the official dock, and it is something that I noticed on their website as well, so you shouldn't have any issues there. And to remove it, simply remove it as well. There you go, inserting it into the dock, removing, so no issues over here. So I'm really curious, are you the type of guy who use this kind of rugged cases? Let me know down in the comments. And before you go, make sure to check out this video over here, where I tell you my story of how I upgraded my original Nintendo Switch with this OLED model over here, and that happened in 2023, so make sure to check out this video. Alright, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. This is the Tech Unravel, and I'll catch you in the next video.